An absolutely enormous loss for this one family. We know that they began their day yesterday celebrating, and we know how tragically that day ended. Now, we are learning more about those victims inside the limousine tonight. Again, we do know that some of them were relatives. 4 sisters and 3 husbands, all gone. They began their day with celebrations, and it ended so tragically.
You can't wrap your head around it. You just can't.
Barbara Douglas drove from Dannemora this morning to the scene of Saturday's deadly crash to lay flowers and say a final goodbye to her 4 nieces.
They were fun-loving. They were wonderful girls. They'd do anything for you, and they were very close to each other, and they loved their family. They loved their parents.
Inside the limo were 4 sisters from Amsterdam, Mary Dyson and her husband Rob, Amy Steenberg and her husband Axel, another sister Allison, and Abigail Jackson and her husband Adam, shown here with their 2 children on a GoFundMe set up by loved ones. We're told they were all celebrating the youngest, Amy's 30th birthday.
They did the responsible thing, getting a limo, so they wouldn't have to drive anywhere. And
one of the sisters, we're told, was a teacher at Amsterdam's Lynch Literacy Academy.
That was my favorite teacher. I was always excited to go to school just to have her class.
Now a 10th grader, Isaac Davila says the whole community will feel the loss of his former reading teacher.
I'm going to miss her.
It's one of the largest tragedies we've ever had to deal with.
Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara spent the day with residents of Amsterdam, a city he says is in mourning.
This is devastating news that has shocked everybody, has sent shockwaves to the whole Amsterdam area and beyond.
Santa Barbara says a candlelight vigil is planned for Monday night on the south side of the Amsterdam pedestrian bridge.
We want to honor the lives of those that were lost in this tragic accident.
Now, we're here on the Amsterdam pedestrian bridge. As you can see behind me, that vigil for tomorrow is set for right here at 7 p.m. For more information on those GoFundMe pages that you saw earlier, you can head to cbs6albany.com. Yesterday, we learned about 4 sisters who died in this crash. Today, we spoke with more people who are mourning the loss of a loved one gone too soon.
I've never felt this type of pain before.
Karina Hals says she got a text message Saturday from her sister, Amanda, letting her know she was getting in a limo to head to Brewery Ommegang for a birthday celebration. Before she could answer, Amanda and 17 others inside that limo lost their lives.
It's been indescribable. I have absolutely no words. I feel like my heart is sunken.
Karina describes her older sister as strong and independent and says there's now a hole in her family.
She definitely held our family together. She was definitely the peacekeeper. Just wanted to make sure everyone was happy.
26-year-old Amanda was inside the limo with her boyfriend, Patrick Cushing, an Amsterdam native. Today, Senate Majority Leader John Flanagan made it known that Cushing was a member of the Senate's Technology Services Unit. He described him as a, quote, extraordinary employee. Another hard worker inside the limo was Amanda Rivenberg.
We lost the heart of our program.
Frank Prevertil describes his associate director at Living Resources as someone who lived to help others.
Amanda was the calm in a sea of chaos, craziness. Amanda kept everybody together.
Rivenberg's co-workers came together at their office today to share memories, laughs, and tears about a colleague who was a friend to all.
It's a true loss, and it's going to be felt for a long time to come. But I think it's what she left us with that is going to help us get through that time.
This is one of 20 agencies, nearly 20 agencies, that responded to that devastating scene on Saturday.
The responders there were numb.
Captain Peter Brody says his main priority on Saturday was being there for the first responders who arrived before he did.
You let them know that every emotion they're having is legit. You know, they're entitled to that.
He says Saturday's scene was scarring.
There's some visuals that you just don't leave your head. You know, the crushed vehicle when they pulled it back from the trees, you know, the individuals that we were not able to access.
It never leaves you.
Warren County Sheriff's Lieutenant Stephen Stockdale is familiar with the feeling. He was one of the first to respond to the Ethan Allen boat incident in Lake George in 2005. 20 people died after the tour boat capsized.
I remember seeing things in slow motion. I remember hearing things that sounded like they were 1,000 miles away, and everything was just condensed into like a tunnel vision.
Stockdale, who was photographed mourning the loss of that day, seen here by the Post-Star, says the aftermath impact is enormous.
And you start asking yourself what you could have done differently and what should have happened, how you could have been better prepared. And that's something that eats away at a lot of public safety professionals.
Talk. That's the one thing Stockdale and other professionals urge first responders in these situations to do in order to best cope.
Keep those chains of communication open, and if it gets too much, there are professionals. But just don't keep it to yourself. Just please don't keep it to yourself.
Many departments and agencies have offered grief counseling to responders, and they will continue to do so throughout this week. Developing now, family, friends, and community members are remembering those lost in last Saturday's heartbreaking limousine crash that killed 20 people. Today, the four King sisters, Abby, Allison, Amy, and Mary, as well as their husbands, were remembered at a mass earlier this afternoon. Yesterday, dozens of mourners gathered to pay respects to them. The sisters and many friends were traveling to Cooperstown last Saturday to celebrate Amy's 30th birthday.